gotta do something. Don't just lay there like a fucking tuna fish. Boom! You gotta get through that little fucking mental anguish every day and push through, because the more you do that, the more you steer into the hard shit. Life gets easier, motherfucker.
2 guys, 1 bench.
Shit talking.
Strict sports.
Combat sports.
Over.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 2 Guys, 1 Bench.
Where we talk a lot of shit.
And we drop some truth bombs on your bitch asses.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down low.
Rant of the week. We're about to pop some caps.
All right, everybody, rants of the week. And Darrell, what do you got?
So with so many meets happening these last few weeks, see it on Instagram, a lot of coaches out there setting up their lifters for failure and having absolutely no problem with it, putting it on their lifter, and it's like, oh, they should have accountability. No, motherfucker, you shouldn't be putting your lifter in a position to fail. What I mean by this, I saw one guy out there, he said, amazing day for my athletes. Well, it wasn't amazing, because one of them you had bomb out on deadlifts when the rest of his day wasn't going great. If he bombs out on fucking deadlifts, you knew in the back room how shit was going. Maybe, I don't know, it's their first meet, drop their opener huge so that they get one on there. Second, he had another athlete out there who went, I think, 4 for 9 on the day, missing attempts all over. I understand people miss shit, you don't have to go 9 for 9, but when you have a beginner person, the easiest way to make sure they never come back to the platform is by giving them a horrible first experience with the sport. Russ?
Definitely, I've seen it. You know, every meet I go to, there's these people that don't know what they're doing, and their coaches are kind of look more nervous than their fucking lifters. Well, hey, you know, maybe pick a coach where, you know, they know what they're doing, they've been through the grinder, they know how to pick your attempts, try to get you at least 6 for 9 instead of like 3 for 9, if you're lucky. And, you know, go back and watch our meet recap. Darrell was coaching the entire day from morning till fucking 6 p.m. at night, where he finished his last lift roughly, and all of his lifters killed it. So, you know, get part of a crew that knows what they're doing and a coach that's the leader. Got that? All right, guys. Well, my rant of the week is motherfuckers who squat high. And that means that they're not going below parallel. And mostly in their attempts, they're hitting maybe 1 out of 3 and maybe not any at all. I mean, Darrell, if you're in a sport where the first lift you do is the most important, because if you don't fucking hit this lift, you're not gonna go on and you bomb out of the tournament. Now, you know, in practice, if you're not going ass to grass and hitting depth, you know, every time you squat, and trying to save it for the platform, you're setting yourself up for failure. I've seen it, you know, even recently, we'll talk about it later, and you know, this big weekend of lifting down in the States, a guy that's a veteran lifter just fucking cuts her short right at parallel. And, well, you know, he didn't get the lift, but it's like, come on, how long have you been doing this? I know Darrell, he fucking touches his taint to the floor. So, Darrell.
Yeah, I've never personally understood the reason why people cut squats. I understand you can get a couple more pounds out of it, but at the same time, I don't want to leave the decision in the judge's hands. I would much rather do something 100%. Like when you look at UFC fights and they say don't leave it in the judge's hands because you never know what can happen. Same type of thing. If you for sure know you can beat someone, go out there and try and finish them so you know there's no shadow of a doubt that you won the thing. You don't want to possibly leave it in the judge's hands and lose. And that's how I see it is with some people with their squats. They preference weight over actually squatting deep. And I'm not saying everybody has to touch their ass to their ankles, but make sure you're parallel or below. Some people are just hoping that they can get by off their name.
Yeah, and I've seen it, like, you watch their practice videos on Instagram, you're going, you're not going to depth, what's going on? I've heard, you know, probably one of the best squatters in the world say he saves it for the platform, Ray Williams, but he'll often get red lighted to a point where he's bombed out a few times, or at least once. I mean, one thing that you can do is make sure you hit that depth.
Combat sports.
All right, everybody, combat sports. What do you got, Darrell?
So this past weekend was pretty big for combat sports. We had a massive boxing fight between Alexander Usyk, I'm probably butchering his name, and Anthony Joshua. It was a huge heavyweight title fight, but for different reasons, because the implications of a Joshua win would mean he can fight Fury later down the road, and a loss would pretty much ruin his hype train. And anybody who's followed Joshua in his career knows that he plays it very fucking safe. So he thought he had himself a very safe fight until he fought a guy who was actually moving up a weight class and thoroughly dominated him.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've heard the saying over and over again, always bet on black unless it's a Russian. And he's a Russian, isn't he, Darrell?
No, he's Ukrainian.
Ah, shit.
Same.
Yeah, you know, they just got this extra level of crazy over there. I don't know what it is. But yeah, you know, I think it was the time difference was, you know, quite different. So I got the update in the afternoon. Watched, you know, another controversial part was it looked like they stopped the fight about 5 seconds sooner than the bell, because Joshua was getting lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. And yeah, I mean, there's some controversy there, but at least Buddy won. And hey, Russian versus Gypsy King. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see it, because obviously Wilder has to beat Wilder again. Fury I'm talking about, but that's most likely going to happen, and then we'll have a great matchup down the road. But aside from boxing, there was also a nice UFC card on. There was 2 title fights and the return of Lawler and Diaz, which definitely did not live up to expectations. Is one of the worst fights I've seen this year, and was mad as fuck that I paid for the card because of it.
Yeah, I shelled up the money as well. I mean, Nick Diaz, I mean, old school Nate Diaz. Yeah, I love him. They're Compton, mother or cop, or where they're from.
Yeah,
Stockton motherfuckers. But he actually looks like a character from the Planet of the Apes. He's been punched so much. And
he's thick Diaz now.
He's thick Diaz. Yeah, and he lasted about, you know, he got to the 3rd round, but then he just like took a few hits and was like, nah, I'm good. Kept that. How much did he make?
Like 400 grand for that.
400 grand? Man, sign me up. I will show up and fight anybody. Cock Chestnut, let's go.
And yeah, with the rest of the fights, they kind of went as expected. The Valentina Shevchenko fights, honestly, those ones shouldn't even be televised anymore, because you're just paying to watch a snuff film. Just watch this girl beat the living shit out of another poor woman. I honestly feel bad for her opponents. Valentina Shevchenko, all joking aside, is clearly the best woman out there. I don't think it's Amanda Nunes, and I don't think it's close either. She's just smaller. But it brought us to the title fight, Alexander Volkanovski and Brian Ortega, and it was definitely fight of the night. Brian Ortega showed one thing: he is one strong motherfucker, and like mentally strong. The fact that he didn't fold at any time after eating some massive shots and still almost submitting Volk multiple times, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, this Australian fucking leprechaun, I mean, can his head get any bigger? That thing looks like a fucking bobblehead toy. And yeah, T-City or whatever they call him. Yeah, he's tough, but, you know, there's times in that fight where it's like if, you know, Volkanovski, whatever his name is, could have tapped out multiple times, but he's just a tough bastard. And then, you know, it's probably from all those shoeies he's drinking fucking booze out of his shoes after the fights, who knows. But I also heard that their team, especially Stylebender and a couple others, are done with being in New Zealand and they're moving to the States. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I can understand it because everything's so shut down and you can't travel. Like, they're shutting down for 1 or 2 COVID cases, which we'll get onto that another time, but I can understand it. If you're the champion, you kind of have to fight and you don't want to get stripped, so you got to come to America. But this wasn't even the biggest MMA news of the weekend. If people didn't see it on Instagram, it's been all over. The biggest thing to me was watching Dylan Dennis, self-proclaimed king of jiu-jitsu, one of the best grapplers in the world, as he put it. The man who said he could out-wrestle Khabib got choked out by a fucking bouncer with 0 fight experience. It was personally the best moment of my year, and how the jiu-jitsu community reacted to it. You had Gordon Ryan, who commented on it and gave him tickets to like a jiu-jitsu competition later in the year. You have coaches who actually offered him a free year of training because of it, all because they choked out Dylan Dennis because he's a piece of shit.
Strength Sports.
All right, so we're going to get into some strength sports, and as a lot of people know, there was a massive powerlifting meet down in the States, the Showdown Meet. It was billed as the biggest Raw competition of all time, and it didn't disappoint. There were some massive lifts all around. You had Jamal Browner, who he was going for that 1,000 pull in competition. Unfortunately, couldn't hit it. Yeah. But two things that really stuck out. Finally, John Hack hit that 1,000 kilo total. And this is a 90 kilo lifter, which is fucking insane. And he out-totaled Jamal Browner by half a kilo. I realize it's half a kilo, but a win's a win. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was Karina Davis. Brandon Allen, who we interviewed, one of his athletes.
Nice.
She went on to bench 396. That's top 4 all time for all women, and to do something like that is fucking insane, and made me feel like a gigantic pussy because last week I didn't even hit that.
Well, yeah, and then there was fucking big TD Smash.
Oh yeah,
that guy the first 700 plus bench press in a full competition, full power meet. I don't know what his other numbers were, but I think he's in the 800s in squat and dead as well. Just a freak of nature, where his fucking man boobs are as strong as his legs.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get the call for his deadlift. I understand that gave him a soft knees on lockout, but it wasn't really a factor on other people. There was some pretty iffy judging going on there.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Andy Huang, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Great lifter. I love him on Instagram, but he did not lock out his deadlift at all. Gets 3 white lights. Meanwhile, because Davis is shaking at the top, he gets fucking red lighted.
Yeah. And there was, like I said before, an awful lot of fucking high squatting. Get your asses to the ground, motherfuckers.
Quit being a fake fuck. Hard truths. You can't handle the truth.
All right, everybody. Well, it's been a while, but you need to hear some fucking hard truths. Darrell?
So our hard truth for today is discipline will get you further than motivation or talent ever will. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter what we're talking about, because whether it's sports or everyday life, there's a lot of people who are talented at their job or skilled at their job or good at a certain sport, but these people are lacking discipline and they're going to level off. They might get better than the average person, but they're going to level off real fucking quick. Obviously, we're in the gym a lot, so we see it all the time. There's a bunch of gifted lifters who should have massive numbers, but they have dog shit discipline. What's the difference between discipline and motivation? Motivation is that, for most of them, that external driving force, getting pumped up. Like, those are the same people, oh, I can't lift without my coffee. It's like, no, you just need discipline to get up. Discipline is even when you feel like shit and don't want to move and go do something, or when you wake up in the morning like, fuck, I really don't want to go to work. It's still forcing yourself to go do it. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. You can't rely on it long term. You see it, guys in the gym, and they're rah-rah cheerleader bullshit. It's okay to get each other pumped up and everything, but at one point or another, you're going to have to rely on yourself.
I mean, yeah, mental discipline, it's the same as lifting weights, Darrell. I mean, how did we get to where we are, you know? People come up to you in public, me, like, what the fuck? You know, what did you do to get like this? Well, it's been, you know, decades of just working hard, you know, having those days where, yo, I don't really feel like lifting, but you still do it, right? Well, the same thing goes for your fucking mental discipline. It's all those times where your little inner bitch voice comes out and goes, oh, I don't want to go to work today. I don't feel like doing that. Hey, let's just smoke some bong rips and just fucking chill all day long. How about that? No, motherfucker. You got to get through that little fucking mental anguish every day and push through, because the more you do that, the more you steer into the hard shit, life gets easier, motherfucker.
Technique of the week.
All right, everybody, Street Fight 101. Up until now, we've been talking about strikes, you know, punches, elbows, and then we moved on to a judo throw, toss Darrell with his socks on. You know, I don't want to go into that too much today, but we're going to be on the ground now. What happens? Well, when life doesn't go your way, and let's say you're the one that gets tossed on the ground, what do? We're going to step you through that right now. All right, everybody. Trap down here, giant black man. It's thrown me to the ground. What the fuck do I do? Life could be over. Well, number one, look at my foot right against his thigh. Okay? Second, I can push back, get a little bit more space. I could also kick him in the solar plexus or right in that donkey dick, but I won't do that because that might infuriate him even more. Okay, so another thing, hand out, to push away, post up, hand still out. He's still coming at me, create space. Now I'm up, might have to throw a bomb, might get up. All right, here we are, space, get behind, stand up, shoot, or run away. All right, so that's what you do when you're on the ground and you get your ass kicked. Well, you gotta do something, don't just lay there like a fucking tuna fish. Boom! All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to Two Guys, One Bench.
Before you go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and also while you're online, go ahead and check our sponsors out. We got Resolute, got Misfit.
Hell yeah, Shirt and Curlies, they make custom shirts like this Muteki one. All that's online, and check out the discount codes in the caption. And other than that, don't forget to eat big,
Train hard,
and always be fight ready.
Two guys, one bench.
Shit talking. Straight sports. Combat sports. Over.